everyone, welcome back to QuantumDisney. Today is going to be really exciting. We are going to attempt to head to the Walt Disney World resorts. Although we don't actually have reservations at any of the Disney resorts, we can get to them via Disney Springs. Now, unless you're a guest booked in at one of the hotels, you're not allowed to drive your own vehicle into the resort properties. You can also enter the resort properties if you have a dining reservation at one of the restaurants within the hotel. So for us, as we don't have any of these reservations, the only way for us to get into the Disney World resorts is to go to Disney Springs and then hop on one of the buses that is traveling to the resorts. Now, I'm a little bit confused as to whether we will be allowed to go actually inside the resorts themselves, or whether we will just have to remain on the premises of the resorts. I'm not sure if they're going to check to see that we have an actual resort reservation before they allow us to enter into the resorts themselves. I have seen a few conflicting videos out there, so I guess the only way to get to the bottom of this is to go out there and figure it out for ourselves. Now, I think that the resorts that we're going to go to are going to be the ones on the Magic Kingdom monorail line. So that's going to be the Contemporary, the Polynesian, and the Grand Floridian. I am hoping that we're going to be able to spot the Magic Kingdom castle from one of these locations and to get a peek at the park from the hotels. So that being said, I'm going to hop off to Disney Springs and I'll see you guys over there. So I thought that this was really interesting. This is the skyline wire by the Reedy Creek Fire Department, and I know that on previous days I've seen people posting showing that the gondolas are up on the skyline system, but as we were driving into Disney Springs, I did not see any. So we made it here to the bus stop at Disney Springs. We are gonna hop on a bus and head to the Polynesian resort. We are still not sure whether or not we're gonna be allowed into the hotel itself, but we're gonna head over there, check it out, and see what's going on. So we just sat down on the bus, and if you can see behind me, they do have these partitions set up. There are randomized numbers of seats, so over here, for example, it looks like there could be seated a party of 2, where I'm sitting, there could be seated a party of 4, and so on further throughout the bus. So we're heading over to the Polynesian now, and we're going to see what's open. This is the construction over by the side of the Swan and Dolphin, and our bus driver told us that this is going to be an extension of the resort, so it's another resort building for the Swan and Dolphin. This of course is the Ticket Transportation Center at Magic Kingdom, and it looked like they were busy getting ready for reopening. Here is an amazing trash can, and when we went into the Polynesian, we decided that instead of heading in straight through the main entrance, that we were going to try and get in through the entrance around the back. So if you walk around the side of the Polynesian, it brings you up the side by Pineapple Lanai, where of course you can get a delicious Dole Whip, and you can go in through the back door entrance that will take you straight into the lobby. Okay, so we're in. We made it into the inside of the Polynesian Hotel. We walked around the back by the Pineapple Lanai and we just came straight in through the doors there. It is very empty here. It's really peaceful, but it's a little bit spooky. They have everything going as normal. The shops are open. We're walking up to Captain Cook's now. It looks like that is open. So yeah, we're just gonna walk around and check it out. We headed into Captain Cook's for lunch, and they do have a limited menu that they are serving right now. You had to order, and then they gave you a buzzer to go to your table, and then you had to come back to where they prepared the food to pick it up. After lunch, we headed into Boutique, which is the gift store on the first level of the Polynesian, and it is one of our favorite gift shops in all of the resorts. They have such unique and such amazing merchandise in here, and it did seem like we were the only people in the store at the time. So we just headed out of the Polynesian resort. That was super nice to be back in there and to smell the Polynesian and to hear the music playing. It was definitely very peaceful, a very different experience to if you've ever been here before. We didn't see many people around, the pool was fairly empty. So now we're gonna head over to the Grand Floridian. We're just gonna walk over there and we're gonna see what that's like. So I just wanted to stop quickly on our walk over to the Grand Floridian and show you guys. I don't know if you can see that there, but that is the Cinderella's castle at Magic Kingdom, and we're getting our first in-person look at the new paint, the new colors that they put on there, and I have to say it does look really nice. Definitely looks really cool. I'm excited to see it in person. So we are walking by the pool of the Grand Floridian right now, and again it looks fairly empty compared to how it normally is, but this one does seem a little bit more busy than the Polynesian pool. We also have this aquatic play area at the Grand Floridian, which is currently closed. Here we are inside of the main lobby of the Grand Floridian, and as you can see, we seem to be the only ones here right now. I did want to show you that some of the things at the Grand Floridian are closed. So some of the shops are closed while others seem to have remained open, and the same goes for some of the restaurants also. Some of the restaurants are closed while others are open, so just make sure that before you head out to the Grand Floridian, whatever you are interested in seeing is open at this time. So this is a view of the monorail station from the second floor of the Grand Floridian, and the monorail is going to remain closed until Disney Parks open on July 11th. I have noticed that around the hotels and the parks also, the water fountains have remained open. Also, Citrico's and the Royal Victoria and Albert restaurants did have their doors closed. I'm not sure if they are open for dining service or not, but when we were there, they were definitely not open. However, it did appear that the Enchanted Rose was either open, maybe they were prepping for guests to get there. There was no rope off blocking people from entering the restaurant. I didn't see anyone inside, but it did look as if they were ready to serve people. We did not see the band playing our entire visit to the Grand Floridian, so this could be either due to the low guest count or to ensure that the social distancing is put in place. So we are now leaving the Grand Floridian, and if you do decide to come here from Disney Springs and you're trying to get a bus back to Disney Springs, do not go to the bus stop that they have here, the official bus stop. It has temporarily moved locations to be in front of the villas because they do have some construction going on over by the bus stop. I ended up coming back to Disney Springs. I didn't quite make it to the Contemporary because it is so extremely hot outside today. I just got back here, I hopped into Emirates, and now I think I am going to head home. I did want to show you that at World of Disney, you no longer need to join a virtual queue to enter, but you instead can walk straight in. So here I am back at home after my day of going around the Grand Floridian and the Polynesian. Now, as you probably have seen, I didn't quite make it to the Contemporary. My original plan was to go to the Contemporary, the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian, but unfortunately today it is just too hot. So when we got to the hotels, we walked from the Polynesian to the Grand Floridian, and then if we did want to go to the Contemporary, we would have had to walk all the way from the Grand Floridian to the Contemporary past the Polynesian. So we didn't feel like doing that because it was so hot, and we also didn't feel like getting on the bus back to Disney Springs just to get on another bus to come almost exactly back to where we were. So I think I'm going to have to leave the Contemporary to another day. But it was super interesting to go to the hotels. It was really, really nice to be back there. I really enjoyed just hanging out in the lobbies. We got to eat at Captain Cook's, which I have never eaten at Captain Cook's before, and it was actually really good. We got to go into a couple of the gift stores in the hotels, and it did seem like we were the only people hanging out in the lobbies and in the shops. We were the only people who were dining at Captain Cook's. Now, not to say that guests aren't there and that guests aren't around, because when we went to the pools at both of the hotels, there were several people in the pools. Of course, it was nothing like how it normally is at Disney. Normally the pools have many people in them, but it was very empty. So overall, it was really good to get out and to see the hotels. I don't think we're going to get an opportunity again to see the hotels with virtually no one in them. Not everything is open at the hotels. A lot of the main dining restaurants are not open. Some of the merchandise stores that we saw today were not open. So do make sure that if you have something specific in mind that you want to do, you can check online to make sure that it is open beforehand. But for us today, we just wanted to go out there and have a look around and see what was going on. And I'm really glad that we did, because we had a really good time despite the heat. So overall, it was a really good time, and I'm really glad that we got out and got to step foot into some of the Disney resorts. It was so amazing. So that's all for today on Quantum Disney. Thanks for watching.